Hi everyone, I just wanted to check in with you guys, give you a quick update, break the radio silence. Thank you for your patience, those of you that are waiting for their S2400s. I'm sure most of you already know that the boat docked in LAX, I think last week or the week before. So our container is currently on a freight train coming from California to Port of Miami. And that is going to be landed in Miami on the 21st. So we're at, where are we? We're the 11th. So 10 days time, we'll have our units and we'll be starting to get them fired out the door to you as soon as possible. There's still units available for sale from this batch that will be otherwise in stock. But if you're ordering now, expect your order to be shipped sort of mid to late February. We're going to need a couple of weeks to get the back order machines down and out. But as soon as that, we're plain sailing, we're getting units out. So that's that update out the way. Again, thanks for your patience. Sorry for the delays. Obviously, thankfully, the delays on ocean freight have eased up a bit. The last batch that we made was an absolute nightmare. I think that our container was sat here in Miami for close to a month. If it might have even been a bit longer than a month, but that was really, really painful for me and for you guys that were in that batch waiting. Boat wankers rejoice. As you know, also in S2400 land, we've been working on a couple of other products just to push the boundaries of the machine a little bit more. One of those is a very powerful DSP module that we're working on. Some of you seen our faux pas that we wired up the pin connections wrong. So we did them in mirror image. So Vlad and Nikki have had to do some fudgery there, wiring new pins up. But that's going all right. Our test so far, nothing has blocked us so far, and we haven't had to scrap that prototype. So it's doing its job. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I haven't got an awful lot of news on that because that's a lot of heavy lifting development work. But what I received today is our first prototype of the other add-on that we've been working on, and I know a lot of you are excited about this one, as am I. This is an 8-channel, 8 individual analog filter board that will sit inside the S2400. I'm a fan of the S2400 filters as they are. We've got pretty nice sounding digital DSP filters built into the machine, but who doesn't want an analog filter? And here we are. So this first prototype is actually just a 2-channel model at the moment. There's no point, we've just got to test stuff out first. And I've got to say a massive shout out to Paul Schreiber. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is. But I spent a lot of time with Paul, going over the brief with him, and he's done a lot of the legwork on the analog design of this for us. For those of you who don't know Paul, he is the founder of MOTM, the what's it called? Modular synthesis and synthesis technology these days. He does a lot of really cool modules. He's also was a product designer at Radio Shack, and you may be aware of the Moog MG1 or the realistic MG1, which was a synthesizer that he designed in collaboration with Moog. Back in the day that Radio Shack sold. Funnily enough, Radio Shack was one of my first jobs back in England, but although we called it Tandy, but I used to love that place as a kid, and then got one of my first jobs there. Free Battery Club. It was amazing. Anyway, filter card. So yeah, thanks very much to Paul Schreiber. He's been instrumental in helping me get this idea off the ground. Hope it works, Paul. So we'll start from that. But yeah, so this beautiful little module's got a lot of different modes for each filter. So as I said, it's got 8. This one's only got 2, but the product will have 8 individual filters, and each one of those filters will have 8 modes. So to give you a quick rundown on those modes, it's got a 2-pole low pass, 3-pole low pass, and a 4-pole low pass with Q compensation. Q compensation. Filters that don't have Q compensation, you might sometimes be using a filter, and if you've got the resonance cranked up and then sweep the cut off, you lose a lot of energy. A lot of bass will come out the sound, or you'll just otherwise lose a lot of energy as you crank up the resonance. And so a little bit of added circuitry there compensates for that. Tends to make the sound, keep its energy all the way through the sweep. sounds nice. I like it, which is why I wanted to put a Q compensation circuit in there. We've also got a 2-pole high pass, 3-pole high pass, 4-pole high pass. These are all switchable, and each one of the 8 filter circuits can be set to whichever type of filter that you want, obviously. It'd be pretty pointless if we couldn't. Also, 2-pole band pass and 3-pole all pass filter. And then on either side of the filter, we've got variable gain. We've got input drive circuitry, and on the output, we've got an output gain as well, which is all controllable digitally via a DAC. This board has got an MCU, microcontroller, built onto it, which will communicate digitally with the board inside the S2400. And so this microprocessor takes care of all the control voltages for all of the analog filter chips that are on there. So it will be able to do things like LFOs and envelopes on the filters, and none of that processing really has to be done by the S2400. It's all being, self-sufficient on this little board. It's going to be super easy to install. This one, don't forget, as I said, is going to be a bit bigger because this isn't the full, and this isn't the final product, but inside your S2400, on the output board, there is a pin header, and this was designed from the start for expansions, and usually that is fitted with this little jumper block, and it's basically jumping. This is an insert, an audio insert path inside your machine, and so the board, the idea is with that jumper block removed, the filter board itself has the female version of that connector on it, and just plugs in to that, and will come with some extra screws, and these all line up with the screws and standoffs that are already on the board. So that's going to fit in there quite snugly. As I said, the real board is going to be a bit bigger than that because it's got to handle another 8 circuits for the filters. So hopefully very, very soon I'm going to be able to do a demonstration video of that. I'm really excited that we've finally got them here. It's been a while. And yeah, it's always nice getting a new prototype in the mail. It gets exciting. You sit there refreshing the FedEx page all day until it gets here. So yeah, hopefully very soon I'll have some audio demos for you. Maybe even in the next week or so. I'm not sure. But anyway, again, thanks very much for your patience with waiting for your S2400s. We have got some in stock, or will have some in stock in 10 days' time. So there aren't that many, but there should be a fair few still up for order. I don't know the exact number because I haven't looked for a while. But anyway, thanks for listening to me rant on, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye. I also forgot to tag on to this video just to have a quick word about the firmware update, which is imminent for the S2400. Sorry, I completely forgot to mention that in the video, but we've been doing some last-minute testing on the SP1200 import routines. Just a final bit of bug testing on that. Remembering that this release is more of a maintenance release. There's loads and loads and loads of bugs that have been quashed. A lot of the ones, and again, thanks to you guys that point those out to us in the forums. It's really useful to us. We investigate them, try and repeat them, and if we can, then we fix them. So there's loads of bug fixes, and a huge overhaul on the live loops. Live loops being stereo, and you can change the length of them and have more of them. You can increase that over to 2 banks now. And of course the SP1200 project and sample and sequence import routines, and that's what we're just doing some extra testing on at the moment. So hopefully we should have that firmware update out within the next week or so, and definitely the new units will be shipping with the latest firmware. So I just wanted to reiterate that before I upload this video, because I forgot. Sorry. Good night.